Welcome to Ghouls Night Out with your hostesses, Brandy and Jody. Hello, beautiful ghouls. Welcome. This is Brandy. I am here with my sister, Jody.
Hello.
So, as you know, I've been on a podcast hiatus for a while, and I just recently started listening to podcasts again. So I had a couple of suggestions. Mm-hmm. One of them is called Other People's Lives.
Okay.
And there are these two guys that host it, and it is just things that they find interesting about these other people, and they call them and they have a telephone conversation and they ask them questions, and these people kind of explain their whatever topic that they're asking them about their lives, pretty much. But it's really good. The only thing that, not all of the episodes, there's like 60 so far, so it's fairly new. They've been doing it, I think for a little over a year. And I've only listened to a few of them so far. But I think it's one of those that you have to kind of skip around. Because not all I personally don't find all of the topics interesting. Yeah. So I just find, they title their episodes about what it is about. Mm-hmm. So I've been skipping around and finding topics, but it's really good. So, it's very interesting just to listen to other people talk about their lives and their experiences. I listened to a flat earther one.
Oh no.
It's interesting. And these guys, the guy that was on there, because they were actually talking to a guy and a girl, and the guy kept saying shit, and I was like, what? They're flat earthers, so. But I was like, because
I wonder if it's the same guy that was on the documentary that I watched.
Maybe, because, and I couldn't tell you for the life of me what their names were, but they seem to be pretty prominent in the flat earther world. But they also said something about how they are going against the normal flat earther theories. They don't believe certain things that other flat earthers do. So it's very interesting. Yeah. But this guy kept saying stuff like, if you look, one of the things that I remember him saying was, if you look at a lake or any body of water, preferably something where you can see a reflection of a mountain or something. Mm-hmm. So like a lake. And you see the reflection of the mountain behind it. And if the earth was round, there would be curvatures, and it wouldn't be a perfect reflection.
See, that's... No.
I know! Dude!
It's not like it's this... The earth isn't the size of a golf ball.
I know.
It's huge.
And that's another thing he said. He was like, what if you stood on a basketball? And I'm like, what if you were an ant that stood on a basketball?
Exactly.
That's what you need to be saying, because
not
at that point...
Not even an ant, like a what are those called? Gnat.
Yeah.
Something, tiny.
Yeah, I guarantee that gnat thinks that basketball's flat.
Yes.
Guaranteed.
It's just...
I know.
Stupid.
I know, it's so stupid.
So irritating.
But then there was another one where this guy, oh my God, he found out his dad was a pedophile. Ooh. And turned his ass in when he was 13.
Good.
Oh my God, I know. So inspiring. And this dude was the best dude. There was a good dude out there, and I was like, oh my, I know. And
so apparently he wasn't molested.
No, his dad was an 8th grade teacher. And he said that he got this phone number from a girl that he was friends with, and that was about his age. He was 13. And he said that at that time I think they were sharing like a phone line or something where his contacts showed up on his dad's phone. So his dad starts texting this girl that he knew, you know, and I think she was in his class or something. And he was like, and he was 13 at the time, and he was like, the things that he was texting her, he was like, it was beyond like disgusting. So yeah,
good for him.
I know,
that's awesome.
I know, what a good man. And there was another one. Oh, it was an alien abduction.
Yeah,
that was interesting. It was, I mean, you want to believe these people about what they say, but it was his story was very cliche. So, I mean, it's just very interesting hearing these people's point of view.
I'll have to try that out.
Yes. And another one, you did mention the Murder Squad. And I did listen to the first episode of that, and there's only 3 out, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I listened to the first episode and I really loved it. And the reason why I loved it was because I loved hearing a one-on-one point of view. Like, that dude was the detective on these cases, and he's been doing it for years. He knows exactly what he's talking about. He's very educated. It was so interesting listening to him talk about his day-to-day life, basically. And so that's the reason why I liked that one. Which brought me to another podcast, which is one of my new favorites. It's called Small Town Dicks. And it's old. I'm probably pretty late to the party on that one. But it is, it's 2 girls that host it. And they are friends with 2 detectives who are identical twins. And they talk about the cases that they've been on.
Oh, that's cool.
And the best part about it is one of the hostesses is Yardley Smith, which is the voice of Lisa Simpson.
Oh.
So we get to hear Lisa Simpson ask these detectives so many questions, and it's so awesome. I love it. And it's again, that one-on-one perspective of they talked to these killers and these people. And the one that I listened to today, I just started listening to these this week, and the one I listened to today, this guy had back surgery. He said the doctor messed up. He started taking painkillers, got addicted. They wouldn't give him painkillers anymore, so he was like, fuck this. I'm done. He flipped out. Basically recorded his entire last day on Earth before he got a SWAT team surrounding his house, and he went outside, did like this crazy flip off of the porch, pointed a gun, and the cops killed him. And all of it was recorded. So you hear all of it's fucking intense, and it's crazy, and it's so good. So good. So if you liked hearing the detective give that point of view where he was actually there, that's all this podcast is.
Yeah, I'll definitely listen to that.
It's really, really good. Those are my 2 suggestions for that, because I really like them.
Well, I'm glad you gave me those, because all week I've been trying to find something to listen to, and I just can't get into anything, it seems like.
And that's where I was too, because I was really looking for something specific. And I like that intense feeling where, God, man, my life is not that bad. That's where I want to be, just to have that comfort of things could be so much worse.
Oh yeah.
So
definitely.
Yeah, that's what I got. So yeah, check those out. They're really good. I recommend those.
Cool.
And I have some embarrassing moments with a little bit of a different thing. I'm like I said, it's getting down to the
slim pickings.
Yeah. So who knows what's going to happen? Anyway, okay, my first one. This is an organ player who plays like at churches. He said, a busy Saturday where I had 3 funerals and a wedding to play as an organist. By the time the wedding finally arrived after the 3 funerals were over, I must have been tired or daydreaming because I played the funeral procession music as the bride entered the church rather than the trumpet voluntary as scheduled. That would be so embarrassing.
Oh, I bet that bride was pissed.
Oh my God, I would be too. Like, what are you fucking trying to say? Okay, next one. Back in high school, I was sitting at a girls' basketball game when I sit down next to one of the quote-unquote cool guys. I'm trying to be social with him, and we start to chat it up about the girls. Well, there was this one girl on the team who had hypotrichosis with no hair on her entire body. So some sort of, issue. I lean to him and say, well, that can't be all bad, right? I give him a nudge, and a wink, wink. He straight-faced looked at me and says, that's my sister. Most awkward silence of my high school years. I would be so embarrassed.
Oh, that's horrible. That's like when you walk up to someone and say, oh, when are you due? And they're not pregnant.
I think there's one in there too.
Oh.
Yeah, in here too about that. Next one. Sophomore year in high school in biology when I was suddenly in need to use the bathroom. They always had us use a sign-out sheet, so I was signing myself out right in front of my crush's desk. I bent over and arched my back so he'd get a real nice view of my ass in my American Eagle jeans, even wiggled it a bit. I was a flirt. I get to the bathroom and realize I was just wagging around my period-stained ass for the whole world to see.
Oh my God.
And it was really bad, too, like flag of Japan bad. I had to wear my friend's sweatshirt around my waist the rest of the day. And I definitely know my crush saw it because he was a really nice guy and said something to my female teacher while I was gone so she could let me know, cringing all over again.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that is like Nightmare City.
That's horrible.
Poor thing.
She thought she was being cute,
I know. You're not cute. Okay, next one. I forgot my sister was gay when I was drunk. She brought a friend to our Christmas party. I asked permission in front of the girl if I could make out with her. They've been together for 6 years now, and they like to bring that up at friends' gatherings. Next one, my father stepping into my room while I was watching porn for the first time.
Oh my God.
That would be me. Can't do anything. Can't do anything without getting caught. Damn it. The one time.
Then you're like, oh, I don't normally do this.
He's like, yeah, sure. Next one, during high school, I worked as a car hop at Sonic. They made us wear roller skates, and the first order I ever took out was a huge tray full of Route 44 slushies. I shakenly skate out and go to step off the curb with a massive tray of drinks, and bam, my ass hits the curb with the slushies going flying. I'm covered in green and purple goo, sitting on the curb right in front of the car I was supposed to take them all to, while watching the customers laugh hysterically at me. I think the worst part was when they rolled down the car window to ask how long it would take for someone else to bring out their order.
Well, that's rude.
I know. Poor thing. That was probably so
I couldn't imagine trying to carry a tray just regularly, let alone or roller skates.
I know. Yeah, I've never been one with the coordination.
No.
Yeah.
I used to go roller skating, but I was never good.
I never was good either. Yeah, that sucks. Next one, when I was about 17 or so, I was at my wealthy girlfriend's house on a lazy summer afternoon. It's just me and her in their giant house, and my girlfriend decides to take a shower. I'm in her room, pretty bored, when I decide to investigate her underwear drawer. I find a tiny sequency pink thong and decide it would be funny if my 200-pound self surprised my girl by wearing them. I heard the shower turn off, and a minute later I hear someone coming down the hallway. I start strutting down the hallway, naked, but for this tiny, shiny thong. My mediocre dick and giant balls hanging out one side. She then sees me. She, the South American housekeeper, I hear half of her frightened gasp before I turn and run into the bedroom. I avoided this poor woman for the next 2 years of my relationship with this girl.
Oh my god. He traumatized her for life.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. So embarrassing.
Could you imagine?
No.
Just going about your regular work day.
I would be like, okay, first I need to clean out the hall, and then I'll do the bathroom, and then, oh my god! Oh my gosh. Okay. I was relaxing on some beanbags in the school library when my crush walked by. She tripped and fell on me. She looked dead in my eyes, and it was a perfect time for me to ask her out. Then I farted. Oh. This was 3 weeks ago. That sucks. Okay. For some reason, I am prone to pants ripping. I've torn straight up the crotch on 2 separate bowling occasions and once at work. The one at work was bad because we were understaffed that day, so I couldn't leave. Instead, I added a second apron to the back of my body to cover up the remaining 2 hours. But the worst was when I was 14. I went with my family to a religious service, and as we do every year, we sat in the front row in a huge hall with at least 300 people. I was wearing my best suit. We were told to stand up, and when I did, I realized my prayer book was under my chair. So, without creasing, I bent down to pick it up, and in a moment of utter silence, my pants gave up the fight and tore loudly from nuts to ass. That would suck.
Oh my gosh. I just like the description.
Oh god. Okay. Oh, here's the pregnant one. I was working at a Bodies Revealed exhibition, which I don't know what that means.
Bodies Revealed.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like a kind of a museum thing, because it says this couple was viewing those fetuses in jars, discussing their own baby's development.
Oh.
So like the process of development, I guess. I gently approached to explain what they were looking at, as I generally do. The woman was on the bigger side, so of course I wanted to make the exhibit more interesting for them and talk about the pregnancy. So I show them around and explain baby development and stuff, and she's talking about her experience with her own pregnancy. Then, with an innocent smile, I asked how far along they were. She answered, "Actually, the baby's already 6 years old. I'm just fat." I think I went from pale to red back to Christmas lights and apologized, like still embarrassed, I think of it. Still sorry.
Well, it sounds like they were talking about it like she was still pregnant.
Yeah, but I mean, don't ever. I don't care if the woman is as skinny as fuck and she's got a basketball.
Yeah.
I don't care. Don't ever say how far along are you. I don't care. I will never ask a woman that. All right, next one. The one day I tried to go in commando, I got pantsed at a fucking school assembly.
Oh, figures.
Yeah, that would be, again, the one time I try something new. Okay. Next one. I went on a date to a movie. Mid-movie, I had to get up to use the restroom. I came back into the dark theater and sat down next to the wrong guy. I put my arm around him, took a sip of his drink, and reached my hand into his popcorn before I realized it was the wrong guy. Oh my god. That one sucked. Next one. I had an older cousin who I overheard say she was going to be a porn star one day. I had no idea what that was. I was 9 years old. One day, we went to the mall with her parents, and there was a kiosk with license plate holders. One said, "Number 1 porn star." I very loudly said, "Look, Angie, number 1 porn star for you." The look on her parents' face. I know, I'd be like, "Excuse me?" What? Okay. I was in a small restaurant with my dad and brother, and when I went to the bathroom, I decided to belt out the chorus to Weird Al's The White Stuff in full volume, thinking the bathroom would contain my vocals. I walked out realizing the restaurant was quiet, and when I sat down, my dad goes, "What the hell was that?"
I thought I was going to say everyone started clapping.
When he saw the confusion on my face, he proceeded to explain that the entire restaurant heard me. That would be great, though, if they all started clapping. Yeah, that would have been great. Still embarrassing, but great. Next one, when I was 7, me and my family were visiting Edinburgh, and we decided to go to the botanical gardens. While there, I was drawn to the giant lily pads. I suddenly had memories of watching frogs jump on smaller-sized lily pads and thought it would be an excellent idea to try and hop on one to see if it could hold my weight. Safe to say it did not, and it was a long, wet walk back to the car after an embarrassing explanation to the managers of the gardens as to why one of their giant lily pads had a child-shaped hole in it.
They're little. They don't know.
Exactly.
I would have been cracking up. That was my kid.
I'm like, what did you think would happen? Okay. Next one. When I was 5 years old, I shat in the ocean on a crowded beach and watched in horror as the turd floated and then washed ashore, gently rolling in and out of the waves. Just rolling, rolling, rolling. That's why I don't go in the ocean.
Ew, I don't go in the ocean just because it's nasty.
It is nasty. And I was watching something. I don't remember what it was, but it was some sort of tragedy that happened, at sea. Oh, it was, I watched that movie.
Perfect Storm?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was. Perfect Storm. And all the people on board of the ship died. Mm-hmm. Sorry, spoiler alert. And that was like 40 people. And it was just one thing in one tiny speck of time. So 48 people died, and they're in the ocean decaying and no. Who knows? It's just sludge. No. Ew. Gross. I'm sorry. Okay. Anyway, next one. I shit my pants on the jungle gym while I was waiting for my mom to pick me up. Another kid shouted, "Someone smells like poop." So my logical response was saying, "Whoever smelled it dealt it," and walked away. Oh yeah, I was wearing white soccer shorts. It'd be me like, "I don't know what you're talking about," and then turn around and like shit all over me. Next one. One Christmas, when I was about 5 or 6, I was in line at the mall to sit on Santa's lap. I decided that I wanted to give him money to go towards feeding the reindeer, and since I was 5 or 6, that money was basically a handful of nickels and dimes and probably a couple pennies. Not much, maybe like 40 or 50 cents. My turn came up, and I sat on Santa's lap and tried to hand him the money, but it fell out of my hand and right down onto Santa's crotch. I dove right in there trying to pick up the money with my little boy hands, and Santa hastily, very hastily, said, "Oh, it's okay, I'll get it later." Put me on the ground and sent me on my way. Oh yeah, I molested Santa Claus, and indeed it still haunts me to this day.
Oh, poor Santa.
I know. Oh my fucking God. Oh my gosh, okay. When I was in kindergarten, waiting outside to be picked up by my mom, I saw her approaching, closed my eyes and ran at her and hugged her. I opened my eyes and apparently I had not aimed correctly as I was hugging the wrong woman. One of my classmates yelled to me, "Stop hugging my mom!" That's my mom, not yours. That would be me. Like, get off my mom.
hugs are only for me.
Okay.
Peyton used to do that.
What?
He went through a little stage where if I was around other kids and they paid any attention to me at all, he'd be like, getting up right in, I'm like, excuse me.
Aw, that's sweet.
Didn't last very long.
Yeah.
Even with Eric.
Oh, if I
was talking to Eric, he'd be like, no. This is my mom. He would even say that. Like if Eric came over and gave me a kiss or something, he'd be like, that's my mom.
Aw, that's sweet. Okay, the next few are things that kids did that they thought were cool, but they weren't. So, like, now they're embarrassed
Like
about it.
everything that a kid does.
Yeah. When you do something that you think is, like, the coolest, and, no. My cousin would squint his eyes all the time because he wanted to look like Danny from Grease, but he ended up being taken to the eye doctor because his parents thought he had a problem. I would think that too. I'd be like, what are you doing?
What's wrong? Are you having trouble seeing?
Yeah.
Better go to the doctor.
Okay, when I was in elementary school, I thought wearing a Band-Aid on my knee made me look cool. Having a cut or scrape wasn't necessary.
I think a lot of kids do that.
What, Band-Aids?
They want a Band-Aid even though they're...
Yeah.
Or Band-Aids if they, bump their arm. I need a Band-Aid.
Especially if there's cool characters on the Band-Aid.
Oh, yeah.
Then they're just stickers.
Definitely, yeah.
All right. This one is a little long, but fantastic. It says, this is probably the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. I was in 5th grade and home alone for a couple of hours. My mom had a bowl of grapefruits on the counter for her most recent diet fad. I was picking them up and trying to juggle, just messing around, bored. I suddenly had an idea. I got one of my mother's bras out of the dirty clothes hamper and put it over my skinny chest, and you guessed it, plopped a pair of grapefruits into the cups. I put my top back on, and oh wow, I look fabulous. I walked around, looked in the mirror, danced a little dance in the living room. Pretty soon I'm convinced that I look completely natural and super teenaged. I go out to the front porch and watch my reflection strut back and forth in front of the window. God, I am killing this boob thing. My bike is right there, parked by the mailbox. So I'm riding my huffy banana seat bike around the block, enjoying the wind in my boobs. When my parents come along in our car, they wave and I wave. They pull over, and a grapefruit drops onto the pavement and rolls slowly under the car. I die of shame, but somehow remain fixed in place for all eternity. My mother puts her face in her open purse and begins to shake while making muffled snorting noises. My dad coolly leans across the passenger window and, his eyes a twinkle, says, "Going for a little ride, are you?" Nice day for it. We'll see you back at home then. They drive off. I die a few more times and slowly navigate towards home with one of my remaining grapefruits sagging listlessly in defeat.
How did that dad not bust out laughing?
He did as soon as they drove off.
You know he did.
All right. I have to give props to the mom, though. I would not think of sticking my face in my purse. I would just laugh in her face.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing?
Is that my grapefruit? That's what I would be like.
Well, you're washing that when we get home.
Oh my gosh, okay. Next one, in elementary school, I thought it was cool to lose your voice due to sickness. Some days I'd come into class and pretend I couldn't speak. I'd even put my hand up to answer questions, but I answered with what I thought was sign language. But the teacher was like, what is this? Like, no, okay, anyone else?
Oh my gosh. Kids are so stupid.
shit. Okay. When I was in elementary school, I was convinced that I was an actual robot because of a joke my dad made about how he built me out of spare sprinkler parts in the garage. I was absolutely convinced I was a robot and tried to convince my friends I was too. Next one, I ate rocks at the bus stop in order to impress a girl. I didn't chew, I just picked up a handful of thick gravel and shoved it in my mouth and swallowed while making eye contact. I thought girls liked guys that did dangerous things, so this made sense in my child brain. It backfired, of course, and she never spoke to me again. I don't remember shitting out those rocks, so they may still be in there for all I know. That's really scary, actually.
Yes, it is.
Next one, I wore 2 watches on one wrist because Corbin Bleu wore 3 in High School Musical. Next one, I tried to jump over a group of girls sitting on a couch, slipped and plowed right into them. I did not look cool, but we had some good laughs about it, at least. Next one, I told my best friend that I have another persona from another dimension. The other dimension me is a secret agent, and I told her that she will be meeting another dimension me the next day. Then the next day, I started wearing shades and basically anything that could be associated with secret agents. I would randomly use gadgets to perform simple tasks and parkour going room to school grounds. Going to rooms, and so he would do parkour going to rooms and around the grounds. I guess that's what that means. That's crazy. I remember there's a girl in high school. I think we were in high school, and she wore an FBI t-shirt one day and told everyone she was in the FBI.
In high school?
In high school, yeah. She was older, too. That was crazy. Next one, when I was in 4th grade, I somehow got the notion that guys with scars were cool. Needless to say, to heighten my attractiveness, I started running the back of my hand along the brick walls leading up to my class. Only after a couple of times there were visible damage to my hands. To be fair, I did gain the attention of some pretty neat people like a therapist and a school counselor. Next one, when my best friends and I were about 10, we thought it was super cool to speak another language aside from English in front of other people. So basically like pretend we were foreigners. Problem was we knew no other languages aside from English. Nevertheless, we went to McDonald's and sat there in public talking to each other in very loud gibberish, trying to get people to look at us and think we were cool. Oh my gosh. Next one, I was a, quote, not like other girls girl. I acted like I was so different for liking hard rock music, anime, and video games, even though there were plenty of other girls who were into this too. I could have been making friends with people with similar interests, but instead I patted myself on the back for having mostly male friends. I stumbled upon the Not Like Other Girls subreddit and cringed so hard because I used to be one of them.
Oh.
Yeah, kids do that stuff all the time. And next one. Okay, this one's not one of those. This is just embarrassing. I think I left it for last because it's pretty bad.
Oh.
I'm 39 and I still think about my first almost kiss. It was so awkward and embarrassing. I was 11 or 12 and at camp and we were playing Spin the Bottle. I was a really naive little girl and didn't quite understand what I was getting myself into. The bottle landed on me and I stood up to kiss the older and far more experienced boy in front of me. I essentially unhinged my jaw and opened my mouth really wide to kiss him. He stepped back and looked at me and just said no. Oh, that's terrible. You know that's in front of a bunch of people, too. Okay, those were my embarrassing moments for the week.
Cool. I did Ghosts of Vermont this week. Norwich University in Northfield. Norwich University has a number of different ghost stories attached to it involving 4 different halls on campus. First of all, there is a legend that there is a boarded up dorm room in Alumni Hall where a student is said to have hanged himself.
Oh, God.
Several years later, the boy's brother came to the school and was somehow allocated the same room.
What?
He also hanged himself, which is why the room is now boarded up.
What?
Students say that you can hear strange noises coming from inside. At Chaplain Hall, there is said to be a ghost that hangs around at the front door. In the past, the hall was used as a library, and there were regular reports of books floating off the shelves. The other two haunted halls on campus are Ransom Hall and Hawkins Hall, which have similar events occurring inside. Many students have said that they have awoken in the middle of the night screaming and unable to move or breathe as though something is holding them down. Ugh. It is not just the halls that are haunted. There are also reports of a female ghost at Sabine Field who apparently guards the gate to the football field.
That's creepy. And if I was those people's parents, where the two,
gosh,
I would be like, you know what? You are not putting my son in the same room as my other son. That is creepy.
That almost sounds like a made-up story to me.
I don't know, but who knows?
Yeah. Lake Bomoseen, I'm assuming, in West Castleton. The town of West Castleton on Lake Bomoseen has been abandoned since the 1930s. Prior to that, it was full of mills and quarries, with immigrants coming in from places like Italy, Ireland, and Eastern Europe to settle in the area. It was a busy industrial town. However, it is now a ghost town and is said to be extremely haunted. One of the most common tales is that people have seen a ghostly rowboat making its way across the lake towards a tavern at the far side.
Ooh, weird. Is it empty and just rowing on its own?
The oars make no ripples in the still water. It is believed that this haunting links to a story where some men from West Castleton once rowed over to the tavern but never returned home. The next day, the boat was found floating in the lake with no sign of the men.
Oh, I want to see that.
That's creepy.
I know. I want to know if the oars are moving, if you can see oars moving, and if you can see people in it, or if it's just an empty boat.
I don't know.
I want to know. That's creepy.
It says the oars make no ripples in the still water. That makes me think that it's rowing, but it doesn't actually say that. So I don't know. University of Vermont in Burlington. The University of Vermont is the largest higher education institute in Vermont. It was established in 1791 and was the fifth university founded across New England. The school welcomes thousands of students every year, but it seems as though many of them never actually leave. Over the years, many homes were bought and absorbed into the campus. One of those properties is the Counseling Center, which was once the home of Captain John Knabb. The staff say that he is still there and makes himself known by knocking over buckets and slamming doors and windows. Why are there buckets just hanging around?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they have roof leaks.
I don't know. Similarly, oh my gosh.
You're not even drinking.
Similarly, the nearby public relations building is said to be haunted by its former owner, John E. Booth, who makes various banging noises all over the house. The most haunted house on the campus is said to be the Bittersweet House, where many people have reported seeing full-body apparitions. It is believed that the ghost there is Margaret Smith. Sorry, the cat's giving me products. Okay. It is believed that the ghost there is Margaret Smith, who was widowed at a young age and spent the rest of her life as a recluse until she died in the house in 1961.
Oh.
Not all the ghosts at the University of Vermont are former students. There is a far more tragic spirit in the Converse Residence Hall. In 1920, a young med student called Henry committed suicide in the building, and it is still there, manifesting himself in the form of poltergeist activity. The school is said to have more haunted buildings on campus than anywhere else in the state of Vermont, making it one of the most haunted places in Vermont.
Schools?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Emily's Bridge in Stowe. The town of Stowe is best known for its mountain resort and for the Trapp family lodge, where one of the Von Trapp children from The Sound of Music settled after escaping Europe. However, it is neither of these things that attracts fans of the paranormal. These types of visitors are more interested in Goldbrook Bridge, or Emily's Bridge as it is more commonly known. It is said to be one of the most haunted locations in Vermont, haunted by the spirit of a broken-hearted woman named Emily. There is no concrete record of the exact circumstances surrounding how Emily died, but the most common theories are that she drove off of the... What? This... Okay, this is what it actually says. But the most common theories are that she drove off of the... Okay, this must be bridge. It says bring.
Oh.
She drove off the bring. She drove off the bridge in her carriage and hanged herself from it.
Oh, no.
Whatever the cause of her death was, it is said that visitors to the bridge get scratches on their cars and even report being grabbed or scratched themselves. The spirit seems to be particularly hostile to males crossing the bridge, which many say is due to the fact that Emily killed herself after being jilted by her true love. How many of those stories have we heard?
Yeah, no shit.
Brattleboro Retreat Tower in Brattleboro. Initially, I cannot talk today. Initially,
Maybe you should drink.
Maybe I should. The Brattleboro Retreat Tower was known as the Vermont Asylum for the Insane when it was founded in 1834. It is still in use as a treatment center for mental health patients. There are now 58 buildings scattered over 1,000 acres of land. Only 20 of these buildings are modern. The remainder were built in between 1838 and 1938. One particular building, Retreat Tower, is now abandoned and closed off, but it was built around 1887 by patients at the asylum. At the time, it was believed that physical labor would improve their mental health. However, shortly after it was built, it had to be closed because of a large number of patients who jumped to their death.
Oh, shit.
Now it is said to be one of the most haunted buildings in Vermont, and people often report seeing figures jumping from the tower, but vanishing before they hit the ground.
Shit.
That's creepy.
Yeah, that totally backfired.
Yeah, it did.
And I don't know if putting mental patients in charge of building a building is a good idea.
Not a good idea.
No.
People weren't very smart.
Yeah,
People
like,
still aren't very
how
smart,
are we alive?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I think it's like pure luck.
Vermont Police Academy in Pittsford.
Ooh, our first police academy. That's cool.
Vermont Police Academy was formerly a state hospital for tuberculosis patients.
Never mind.
And it is apparently still haunted by one of the nurses who worked there. The name of the nurse was Mary, and she contracted TB while working there. The old call buttons are still in the recruits' rooms, and if they are pushed, then the ghost of Nurse Mary will stop by to check on them during the night.
Creepy.
I would not be pushing that button.
Nope.
Marble Inn in Fairhaven. Marble Inn is said to be one of the most haunted places in Vermont. It is said to be haunted by a number of different ghosts, including one former owner who died in the inn. Guests have woken in the night to see him dressed in a gray suit standing over the bed. There are also reports of a young woman who haunts the basement and a couple of children who run around in the halls. Shelburne Museum in Shelburne. The Shelburne Museum covers 45 acres, and rather than being a simple building, it is a vast complex that is made up of 39 historic buildings, most of which were relocated there from other locations. It is a rare glimpse of New England's history, and there is an impressive collection of rare works of art and antique dolls. It is also said to be one of the most haunted places in Vermont. One building which seems to be something of a focal point for the paranormal activity is the Dutton House, which was originally built in 1782 and was moved to the museum in 1950. Lots of the museum employees have had strange things happen in the house, including seeing apparitions of an old man and hearing a child crying in the shadows. During off-season, many of the maintenance staff have gotten a scare and say that there are odd noises that come from the empty building.
Creepy.
Children crying in the shadows?
Oh, yeah, that's...
No.
Why in the shadows?
I don't know.
That made it so much creepier.
Ugh. The Equinox Golf Resort and Spa in Manchester. The Equinox Golf Resort and Spa is said to be haunted by Abraham Lincoln's wife, Mary Todd Lincoln. The resort was built in 1769, and she is said to have visited the hotel in 1865. Several people have reported seeing her apparition appearing and quickly vanishing again, sometimes with one of her children in tow.
Interesting. It sounds like residual shit.
Yeah, it does. Hartness House Inn in Springfield. James Hartness was not only a builder but also an inventor, and he built a labyrinth of underground tunnels under his home in which he would be able to work. The tunnels included an underground library, a workshop, a study, a lounge, and a bathroom. Some say that Mr. Hartness is still down there inventing things even after his death, since there are a number of odd things going on in the house. Things disappear only to show up elsewhere, and the electricity goes on and off for no apparent reason. That's all I got on Vermont.
All right. I did scary or creepy things that these people have woken up to, or that have woken them up in the middle of the night.
I don't like that.
No. Well, there's a couple funny ones, and there's, some that can be explained, and then some that are like, obviously, sleep paralysis, and,
yeah.
So there's a plethora. So, first one, we had a rooster who was pretty aggressive, but he watched the rest of the chickens. He was so aggressive, though, that only certain people could go near him, otherwise he'd attack. One night, we woke up to what sounded like a young girl screaming at the top of her lungs.
Ugh.
We ran outside to see what it was, and old Bok Bok, which was his name, was walking around decapitated. He'd picked a fight with a raccoon and lost, but that sound he made that night still haunts my dreams.
Where was it coming from?
I don't.
His neck?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Or is his head on the ground and he's like...
Well, no, he wouldn't have any vocal cords to... Oh my God. I don't know.
I'm sure this has happened to you before. Have you ever been woken up by cats fighting?
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
Or in heat or whatever. Oh my God.
It is the creepiest thing.
It is horrible.
Yeah, it's scary.
Every time it's happened, I will just get up, I'll open my window, and I'll just sit there and listen.
You can't sleep.
No.
I mean, yes. Yeah, it's creepy. But yeah, that's creepy.
That's even worse. Oh my gosh.
Okay, next one. I woke up to the sound of scampering raccoon-like creature inside my room, zooming about the night before Christmas. It then bounced on my bed, jumped off, and ran out.
What?
I followed it, and it was lying on the couch and barked at me. Apparently, my parents got my sister a puppy, and it had escaped during the night because it was lonely. They had an uncovered puppy kennel in the living room, and he climbed out.
Oh, that's hilarious. Did I tell you about the rat that was under my bed?
What? A rat?
Not really.
No.
For every night, this was when I lived at Daddy's.
Okay.
And I would be laying in bed, and I would hear this, like, scratching noise.
Yeah.
And it was under my bed, and I was, like... frozen.
Yeah.
I could not move. I'm like, oh my God, what is that?
There's something in here.
There's something that is living under my bed.
Yeah.
You know what it was?
What?
It was my curtain moving in the wind. And it was scraping against my bed. I'll tell you what, I felt really, really stupid when I found out what it was.
I would have been so relieved, though.
Oh, I was, but still, I was like, oh my God. I'm never telling anyone about this ever.
You just told a bunch of people.
That's all right.
Oh, anyway. Okay. Next one. I woke up feeling... Oh, this one's scary. I woke up feeling oxygen starved and fuzzy-headed in pitch black. I got my shit together enough to turn on my headlamp, only to discover that I couldn't see through my tent. It had snowed so heavily overnight that my tent was covered thickly enough to blot out the moon and stars that were now shining. Likewise, so much snow had accumulated around my tent that it effectively sealed the rain fly. I was by myself in a one-person tent and slowly suffocating.
Ew.
I opened the zipper, stuck my arm outside to move some snow around, and flapped some air into the tent and instantly felt better.
Wow.
So if they didn't wake up...
Yeah, really.
That is creepy. And I didn't know snow could do that. I guess it makes sense, but
that's not something that you would think about.
No, that's scary.
That is scary.
Next one, woke up to a baby crying. We didn't have a baby at the time. That sounds like someone's biological clock ticking to me. And then that's what you're hearing. Next one, went to bed at midnight, woke up in searing pain at 2 a.m. Such grave pain that I thought my appendix had burst. I flipped on the lights to take a Tylenol, only to find I had rolled over on a black widow spider that had bitten me.
Oh my gosh.
I know, and that was it. Next one, my daughter had this Minnie Mouse baby doll that crawled on all fours when you touched a button on its back. My wife and I woke up to 2 a.m. to the sound of the doll's creepy laugh, went out to the living room, and the doll was walking straight into a corner. Each time it stopped, it would just start over again. The button wasn't broken or anything, so I'm not sure what happened. We donated it.
Yeah. That fucker out of here.
Yeah. Next one. Used to live a few minutes away from Buncefield Oil Storage Facility. It was the 5th largest oil deposit in the UK. On the morning of December 11th, 2005, it exploded. The explosion threw me out of my bed, and the doors of our house burst open. Ugh. I looked outside my bedroom window, and the sky was engulfed in a giant fireball. I was 11 years old, and I thought it was the end of the world. Still baffles me how no one died during that incident.
Wow.
Something to throw you out of bed.
Horrible way to wake up.
You wouldn't even know what the fuck was going on.
No, you wouldn't.
It's so scary. Next one, my housemate came home drunk after midnight from a Halloween party dressed as Jason from Friday the 13th. He walked into my room by mistake in his full Voorhees costume and just stood in the middle of the room looking around, trying to work out where he was. Woke me up as my door opened, and I was frozen terrified for a good 30 seconds. Bought a lock for my door the following week. That would be fucking terrifying to wake up to. Next one, we have a window AC unit basically right above our bed. One night, ice must have gotten built up inside and fell onto the fan that blows the air out. I remember hearing a loud bang and then being sprayed in the face by liquid. My first thought was that someone broke in and shot my wife, and I got covered in blood.
Oh my god.
Fucking terrifying.
That's horrible that that's your first.
I know. Well, yeah, but again, you're asleep.
Yeah.
You don't know what the fuck's going on. My ceiling fan pulling off my ceiling and hanging a few inches from my face.
Oh my gosh.
That would be scary to wake up to.
Yes, it would.
Next one, fell asleep on the couch, woke up around 3 a.m. to my cat clawing at my face. Every time I tried to go back to sleep, he started again. Finally got pissed off and decided to put him in another room. As soon as I stood up, I smelled natural gas. The pilot light on my stove had gone out. The little guy saved my life.
Aww.
And he was mad at him. Next one, I have an electric door lock. Late one night, I heard the beeps from the door lock over and over and over again, 4 beeps every time. I grabbed my phone to check the ring.com. There was no one there. I went out on my balcony and the beeping continued. I finally pinpointed it. An effing mockingbird learned my lock tones and scared the crap out of me.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Okay, next one. My door unlocking. I lived alone and moved in the night before. So, yeah.
No.
Next one. For a few months, my 3-year-old had a habit of waking up in the middle of the night for a glass of water. One night recently, they decided that since they needed a drink of water, I did too, and proceeded to pour a cup to help me drink it. At 3 in the morning, while I was asleep, my 3-year-old waterboarded me. That would be so horrible. Oh, Okay, next one. Transformer blowing up outside my apartment. Opened my eyes and the sky was lime green. I seriously thought the world was ending. That would scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I would hate that. Next one. This past summer, I woke up to the sound of someone screaming in the most horrible way. I went onto my balcony and saw a woman lying on the ground right outside my building, holding her stomach with people standing around her. She got into an argument with another woman at a crosswalk, and the other woman pulled a shotgun out of her trunk and shot her in the stomach. She survived.
Wow.
Next one. I woke up to what sounded like car keys in my kitchen being moved, followed by two men talking. At the same time, I could feel myself slip into sleep paralysis. I was so afraid they were going to murder me. I snapped out of it after a while of struggling and checked the house. No one was there and my car keys were in the same spot. I was just hearing things, probably due to the sleep paralysis.
That would be so scary.
That is the most terrifying sleep paralysis thing I think I've ever heard, because it could be real.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, if you see something creepy standing in the corner of your room, I mean, that's terrifying, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But hearing keys, like something as mundane as keys, and
hearing people talking in your house, that, yeah.
Oh my God. That, I just got chills. That's creepy. Next one. I once had a dream I was walking down the street when I started to choke on nothing and started to feel like I was drowning. When I woke up choking for real, I realized it was because I'd gotten a nosebleed while I was sleeping on my back and choking on my own blood.
Oh, gosh.
It's horrible. Next one. This happened when I was like 8 or 9, and sometimes when I went to bed, I would make hand shadows on the wall next to me. One time I was doing this and raised my hand up and started waving like you do when saying hello to someone. But after I put my hand down, a different shadow appeared and started waving back.
Oh my God.
This really scarred me, and I always slept facing away from the wall until we moved out of that house.
What the fuck?
I know.
That is horrible.
I know. I mean, what the fuck?
I don't think I would be able to sleep in there anymore.
No. But I mean, if you're 8 or 9,
Oh.
what the fuck do you do? Oh my gosh. Okay. And my last one. Woke up to my sister laughing. She had been dead for about a week.
Oh.
I was staying at my parents' house and just sleeping on the couch. My dad had passed down the armchair in the other side of the house, and my mom was upstairs in the bedroom. My sister's laughter came from the kitchen, which was sort of between where we all were, and sure enough, we all converged in the kitchen because we all heard it. Needless to say, we were freaking out a bit. Her phone, which had died, was plugged into the charger in the kitchen. It had turned itself on and began playing a video of her laughing and playing with her new puppy. We all just stood there and listened to it, then turned it off and went to bed without really talking about it. None of us believe in paranormal stuff, and I'm a real skeptic, but it was really jarring, tech-based oddity to wake up to.
Oh, that one gave me chills.
Yeah, that was my last one.
Ugh. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's creepy and scary and sad and all that.
Yes. Well, I think we need the witty wrap up now. So
Yeah.
that's what we're going to do.
Yay!
This week I did funniest things you can buy on Amazon.
I'm very excited about this because I order shit on Amazon all the
I
time.
do too.
Never come across anything funny though, so I'm interested.
Okay. Yeah, some of this stuff is, and it's funny. When I was going through it, some of them I couldn't do because it was a picture.
Oh.
And some of them were hilarious. But okay, you can buy waxed bacon floss.
What? Is it like bacon flavored floss?
Floss.
Ew, no. Oh, that's just wrong.
Now, this one was you kind of needed to see the picture, but I can describe it. A body fat fridge magnet. So it looks like a clump of fat with hair glued on it. I guess, I don't know, is it supposed to help you when you're trying to diet or something? I mean, it just looked like a glob of fat.
Ew,
with hair.
Where the hair?
I don't know. I don't know. A soap dispenser shaped like a nose.
Ew,
It hangs on the wall, and it's a big nose. It looked like it was about 12 inches.
Oh my gosh!
It was big, and then it showed the person like poking it and the soap coming out.
Ew. That's hilarious.
A boyfriend pillow.
Okay.
It looks like a half of a button-down shirt with a hand sticking out of the arm.
That. Oh my gosh.
And then you put it like you can put it around you like
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's sad. Pizza scissors.
Going back to that one though.
Yes.
They also have like leg pillows. It looks like girl's legs that are she's sitting on her knees. Like you know how if you have your feet underneath you and you sit on like your heels kind of.
Yeah.
It's just like the legs.
That's creepy.
I know.
Pizza scissors. It actually showed them cutting pizza with pizza
That's a thing.
scissors.
I remember I used to sleep over at this girl's house when I was in elementary school, like every weekend. I like lived over there. And you know when you get the knife block and it comes with scissors?
Yeah.
They used to cut their pizza like that.
Oh.
I thought it was the weirdest thing ever.
Well, apparently they made scissors that are just for that.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
The Lickum cat scratcher.
Huh?
You put it in your mouth so you can pretend like you're licking a cat or you're licking your cat. You know how they lick you to, like they love you?
Yeah.
Well, you have your own.
No.
And it's got like little things on the end, so it like, yeah.
No! What?
I'm going to get that for you for Christmas.
I do not want that. And my cat does not want
and
that.
I want to see you use it. And I'm going to videotape it. Or record it. I guess we don't have videotapes anymore.
I don't think
I'm
so.
showing my age.
We'll just type that report up on the typewriter. And
Poop-shaped gag gift. It just looks like a piece of poop.
Yeah.
And in the picture, it showed it on a toilet seat.
well, you saw that in real life one time.
Yes, well, yeah, and it was not a gag. A 55-gallon drum of lube.
Oh my god. What?
55 gallons.
That's like a giant.
I do not want to meet the person that needs 55 gallons of lube.
No, thank you.
A shambong.
What?
It's a bong shaped like a champagne glass. And the stem is curved. And that's what you blow or suck on.
Interesting. I'll have to look that up.
A scarf that you put alcohol in, and it's got like a little straw.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah.
Chicken drumstick shaped soap.
That's interesting.
It was nasty looking.
Oh, I actually thought like for a second because, well, we don't eat meat. Mm-hmm. I thought for a second about doing my kitchen in like all meat, just to be ironic. I don't know. But that would be great for that if I did do that.
Yeah, it would. A goat horn shaped mug.
Goat horn shaped mug.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how you would set it down.
That's right.
But whatever. A crafting with cat hair book.
What? What?
A crafting with cat hair book.
Like literally? Like
literally.
Oh
That's
my
how you
gosh.
make stuff with cat hair. That's
Aw.
gross.
That's for the crazy cat lady in your life.
A rainbow and pot of gold cookie cutter. It looks like a big dick. So you don't want to get that for your children to make cookies with, because then they'll be making big dick cookies.
You just gotta put the right kind of paint on there. Colored icing on there.
A cooking with Coolio cookbook.
What?
Yeah.
Oh no.
A Nicolas Cage pillow where he is half dressed and sexy posing.
Oh my. Mm-hmm. Ew.
The Go Girl urination device.
Oh no.
You can pee in it.
Is it like
on the go?
Oh no.
I need one of those. A tie made out of duct tape.
You could make that.
Well, they made it for you.
Oh my gosh.
A light to make the inside of your toilet glow.
I've seen that. That's like a big thing during Christmas time. It's like a big thing.
A light to make... Oh, I just did that. A gummy bear skeleton puzzle. So the outside looks like a clear gummy bear. Like it was a plastic clear gummy bear. On the inside, it's a skeleton of a bear.
Okay.
And you take it out of the clear thing, and then you put it together.
Weird.
Yes. Little finger hands.
What?
They're little bitty hands that you put on the ends of your fingers, and you have like your finger, and it's got little bitty hands with fingers on it. It's so stupid. Hander pants.
Hander pants.
Underpants on your hands.
What?
It looks like men's whitey tighties as fingerless gloves.
Oh my god. Why though?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know. A shower curtain with Jeff Goldblum and a monkey on it.
God. Like, are you serious
I'm
right
serious. It had pictures.
now? Oh my god.
$15 for 2 pounds of lemon Starburst. Just lemon.
Oh no.
The worst flavor.
The worst. Ew.
Swiffer shoes.
Oh,
It
that's
looks
kinda-
like a Swiffer.
Yeah.
Like you put it on like slippers.
I think I've seen those. That's funny.
Real bones.
Real bones.
Real bones. $10 for 2 hissing cockroaches that normally you pay someone to exterminate.
Oh my gosh.
A lock that is supposed to keep your roommates from eating your Ben & Jerry's ice cream. A shaving bits catcher.
What?
So when a guy is shaving, it catches the hair. You put it on like a bib, and then you attach the bottom to the mirror.
Okay.
So when you shave, it falls into it.
Huh. Interesting.
Sheep placenta dietary supplement.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
A Marilyn Monroe dog costume complete with cleavage and a blonde wig.
Oh my gosh, if you don't dress Leia up like that, I will.
No, it's not happening.
But she looks so
You should
pretty.
dress Chunks up. That would be even funnier.
I think I might. That would be great.
Tree twig toothbrush. Yes, it is actually a tree twig.
What?
Yeah.
Are there bristles on it?
It was a branch with bristles coming out the end, and they were going like this. I know you guys couldn't see that, but it was funny. Bag of Trump hair cotton candy.
No.
Yes, that was gross.
Ew.
A UFO detector.
Hey, I want that.
A can of unicorn meat.
What?
That's obviously a gag, but it
Yeah.
looked like a can of Spam, but it said unicorn meat.
Gross. Come on.
A dog umbrella. Wolf urine.
Wait, is the dog umbrella a thing that you like put on the dog's head?
No.
Oh.
You hold it like a regular umbrella, but instead of it curving over you, it curves the opposite way, and you hold it over the dog.
And it looks like a leash?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
A yodeling pickle. I don't know. A pillow shaped like a cigarette, or it looks like a cigarette.
Okay.
A bodysuit complete with male appendage that comes in kids' sizes.
What? No.
Yes.
Ew, no. What?
No, you didn't. Yeah, the picture was not good either. Inflatable toast.
What? Like a pool float?
I don't know. It just showed it looks like a piece of toast and you blow it up and I don't know.
Okay. Awesome.
Jungle trail mix made with giant water scorpion, Asian forest scorpion, and diving beetle.
Ew, no. Ew, no.
Bonfire perfume. This smells like a bonfire. Who wants to smell like a bonfire? You go home and you take a shower because it stinks.
Shut the fuck up. Are you serious?
I'm serious.
That's like the beach cologne on Seinfeld. That's supposed to be funny. That is horrible. Nobody wants to smell like that.
No.
And you would just dump liquid smoke on you. You can buy that at the store.
It's bad.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy Cat Lady action figure comes with 6 cats. Grass flip-flops. The grass is on the part where your foot is.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
27-pound gummy snake.
Oh, that's a giant freaking gummy.
Yeah. Peephole reverser. Not creepy at all.
Oh my gosh. That was on a My Favorite Murder mini-sode where the people write in, which, by the way, hello, write us.
Please.
Yeah. coolestnightoutpodcast@gmail.com. No, this girl stayed at a hotel, and for some reason, she looked through her peephole, and it wasn't right. Someone had reversed it. So if you stay at a fucking hotel, you might want to check the peephole, because someone perverted might switch it, and they could totally just stand outside and see anything that you're doing in the room.
This is just a little thing that you buy.
Yeah,
And
it's so easy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's bullshit.
Placenta recipe book.
Ew.
That's not part of your vegan diet?
No. Ew. No, that's like the opposite. No meat at all. Ew, that is disgusting.
Gangsta rap coloring book with a gun on the cover.
No. Oh my gosh. Who is the white motherfucker that came up with that?
A rectum shaped pillow.
What?
Yep.
A butthole pillow?
It doesn't. No, it looks like like the inside, like
a body part?
yeah, like
Ew.
I don't. Yeah.
Still.
A life-size Bigfoot.
Okay, I could get on board with that.
And my last one, and it is the best one.
Oh no.
Wiener cleaner soap. Large or small or in betweener, nothing beats a cleaner wiener. That's what the package said. It looks like a donut. I love the way it's large or small or in betweener, nothing beats a cleaner wiener.
And he said it was like a donut.
Oh my god.
Holy shit. That is the best.
That's all I got.
Oh my god.
Who comes up with this shit?
Okay. That was a housewife with a husband who did not clean his dick.
Ew.
Or sons.
Ew.
Because she was like, fuck this shit. I'm creating a donut-shaped soap. Coming up with a nice name. The catchy jingle. Oh my God. And it looks like a donut. Don't.
Oh, that was great.
Oh my God. Okay. Thank you for listening. If you've made it this far, we appreciate it. And email us anything. We want to hear your stories. Scary, creepy, funny, anything for the witty wrap up. If you have embarrassing moments, I would love to hear them. Email us at ghouls9outpodcast@gmail.com. Look us up on Facebook. I was going to say something about Facebook. Oh, our episodes are not posting on Facebook, and I'm trying to fix it. Every time I go on there, it says to authorize it again. And I've done it like 3 or 4 times. So if you're looking for our episodes on Facebook, I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to figure it out. I have no idea what I'm doing. So just thought I'd give you a heads up on that. Anyway, rate, review, subscribe wherever you listen, and we will talk to you next week.
Later.
Bye.